Hello there, Glitch Repair. I'm back for another Lycanites equipment combos video, and this is Storm's Eye. This is going to be, again, a rather heavily combat-focused weapon tool, but as you can see, it just has this very nice blended design look that just kind of goes together, and I thought, why hadn't I used these parts together before? I went through a lot of combinations of going, why has this not come up yet? So, yeah, I'm going to be giving this thing its dues. Now, as usual, I'll be going over the parts design and where you're going to be hunting for them, and doing a little demonstration. So, let's kind of go over the Storm's Eye. Well, Storm's Eye, not necessarily, well, I suppose you could fit the in front of it. Maybe. Either way, it looks cool. I mean, it's still storming, just just from the Zephyr blade. I mean, that's a part that's always going to be very dramatic whenever you have it at the end of something. Like, seriously, I mean, that's just cool. And remember that if I ever run out of combos for Lycanites, I'll have a hiatus waiting for more combos to be possible, and we'll do something with Tinker's Construct. Or maybe something else, I don't know. But either way, still, Tinker Tuesday. It's going to be the day of combos. But anyhow, as usual, we'll be needing these blocks to be able to do all this. That includes a lesser equipment forge, which is a regular crafting table and a wooden axe. Then you upgrade that by adding an iron block to it, and that gives you the greater equipment forge. The master equipment forge is the upgrade for the greater equipment forge, and that is the greater equipment forge plus a block of diamond. Now, the equipment infuser, which you use to level up parts, is a lesser equipment forge surrounded by lapis lazuli in the crafting table, so that's 8 pieces of lapis, not just 1. I just put that up there as a reminder. So, just know that's how it works. As usual, I've got it off in various displays. It's looking really nice here. Nato the Potato is showing it off. We've got our usual wall mounts. And I'm really digging how this altar really shows it off, too. It's kind of surprising how well that works. Although, usually their models will have something extending off the side. In this case, it's the blade, which looks pretty cool. You can even see the little wiggly gin cloud over there. And as usual, I have to approach this one before it displays. It's like a render distance thing that's a lot shorter than normal. Like, okay, I walk about here, and yeah, there it goes. You see, it cuts off. But I'm much farther away from those, and they're still rendering. Even right down to Nato the Potato holding here. I mean, seriously. I mean, maybe, like, shrink it down in miniature. But it still renders from quite some distance. Like, I can still tell he's holding at least something. Even if it looks like he's holding a butter knife instead of a sword. But you know what I mean. Anyhow, on to the whole parts and hunting part. Since we're past the whole displays, well, how you get them thing. Although remember that to use the equipment infuser, you need various things that these would normally craft into, or other kinds of charges that match them with their element to level them up. You'll put the part in over here, you'll put the charges in over here, and this gauge will fill up as it gets closer to a level. If you put in a lot at once, it might just zip right through them. So yeah, that could be fun. But yeah, so now I'm going to be going over the happy hunting part. You'll be needing a Wendigo antler as a base. Wendigos show up in frosty areas as well as around puddles of ooze, so they are always going to be chilly. This will add some movement slowdown, although given what all this will be having on it, that might not be entirely relevant, but it does add both a head and a pommel slot. As I said before, I do like it whenever you can add a pommel, just because it gives it that little extra kick, but some parts are strong enough on their own for a design that you don't really need a pommel, and that's probably where they've been balanced around, so, yeah, just saying. But, again, happy hunting for those Wendigos in the frosty areas. Now, for the pommel, we've got a gin cloud. They just love hanging out up high in the world. You might run into them on a mountain, or they might actually come down and attack you once in a while. I have had them just come, like, float down and attack me before, so they will come to you, even if you don't go up to them. You will find Jinn. And in addition to levitating the target, it also might summon Jinn, so you might have a little bit of an army coming out here. Now, for the headpiece, we'll use a Banshee Eye. They love showing up around underground places. Sometimes around underground structures, like if you're exploring a mine shaft, you might wind up having them show up, and I'm a little worried about that sound, because I have had issues with Roa before in the past. They like knocking down my stuff with their vortex. But yeah, as I was saying, you'll be finding banshees underground. Underground. Ugh, lips. Lips, please. But yeah, banshees show up underground, and they do have a no-clip ability, so they will just pop out of the wall and attack you. It's very dramatic. But if you're lucky enough to whack them, you might take one of their eyes and say, hey, look at me. Now I can stare awkwardly at stuff. Uh, or glaringly more than awkwardly. Yeah, it's more of a glare. But anyhow, it has a blade slot, and that's what makes this thing a sword. But also can summon Banshee, and it grants a fear effect on impact, so you might have the enemy running away from you, or not. Again, that's because of the last part, meaning the or not. I've had a design like this before in the past, and it kind of got a little kooky what it did. I think that still applies, and it's just so fun. I'm pretty sure he allowed that synergy to remain. Because the last part is the blade part, and that's the Zephyr blade. Zephyrs will show up around lightning storms, but they can be created from other elementals put together. So that can happen. Thunderstorms do produce them in good quantity when they do occur. So instead of sleeping through it, you might want to just go Zephyr hunting whenever a thunderstorm shows up. I've literally seen them pop up right next to a lightning bolt before. It has happened. And right next to one of my houses, too, which was made out of wood at the time, so I was a little concerned. So that kind of pops together. Now, these things add a paralysis effect on impact. It harvests as a sword, hoe, and shears, and might summon Zephyr. And because this overall design does not have any kind of projectile associated with it, you can actually use this to shear your sheep pretty good. So, hoe your land, shear some sheep, and chop things like you otherwise would with a sword. Remember, the sword does not have anything in particular that it's specifically meant to harvest. It just happens to harvest some things faster than others. And that will probably factor in. So I've told you about the parts, so let's start with the assembly before I look around my area and hope that Aroa hasn't knocked things off, because sometimes I hear these sounds and I wonder. Because they've done it before, trust me. So now we have Storm's Eye almost complete, except with I need its special name. So Storm's Eye, let's show up. There we go. Storm's Eye. Dual wielding will only be for style. Although I do kind of got to show it off dual wielded just to see how cool it looks. Okay, you can see from the back, you can see a lot more of the little tail ends of the Djinn Clouds that way. Yeah, this is the front view. Take it in, because that looks awesome. It looks like I'm just... Yeah, I'm not entirely sure of the best description of this, but there's something involving a guy with a pair of very large swords, but I'm just not sure I remember exactly the perfect reference for it. But either way, I look very choppy. So, yeah. Now, as for what I'm going to be fighting, that's going to be interesting in and of itself. Now, let me see. Can I casually find some sheep to shear? Because, again, okay, I found some sheep to shear. Sheep are shearable. Hi, sheep. I'm going to actually drop out of this particular game mode and shear you. Yeah, it shears sheep. It's an unlimited shearing, again, for now. He may or may not add durability later, and if he does add durability, I've heard from Lycanite that it's probably going to be a config-based thing. So you can, for balance purposes, whenever you have things that would otherwise just wear out your weapons, you can still have them at unlimited. So yes, it hoes. Remember that plants, even though it acts as shears, it does not harvest them as shears. So it's not like you're going to be getting your grass perfectly back yet. Feature might be upcoming. We've had discussions about trying to get certain activated tool abilities in, like, for example, later on being able to, say, click logs past 1.13 and get them to be actually debarked. Lycanites mobs is in fact past 1.13, by the way. It's in 1.15 at this time, actually. But I just don't know if he currently has that feature set. But that would be something for only things that have axe-related abilities. So, for example, this wouldn't be able to do it anyhow because it counts as a sword, shears, and hoe, not an axe. So, if I were to attempt to, say, clip one of these off, then I don't drop any leaves because, again, it doesn't have that particular aspect of shearing going. But it's still pretty cool. Now, I'm going to pop a few things into my EMC system and do a fight. I need to do it away from the water, however, because I've learned from experience that that doesn't work with the ability I'm going to try to use. Which goes both for and against you, because it's an annoying ability. Because whenever you deal with anything involving levitation, water just makes it not work. So, if you're trying to strategize against shulkers using demonstrations from this, just think of that. Now, which do I want to do first? Because I have been thinking of just nibbling these just to get the upgrades. Better. Just for this world, just for the sake of the fact that kind of might need to use them on occasion, so, you know. This island is good for combat. I think I'll probably use it. This time I'm not going to bring crazy food. I've got good armor. But, yeah, I'm going to be fighting Jigamo. Why? I don't know exactly why I decided on that today. I just did. Oh, I feared him. Okay. Can I get him levitating? Where did I hit him? Where did I hit him? Jigamo. There you go. He is fast whenever he's not being knocked around. Maybe he's immune to levitation. Or maybe it's just the fact that I hit him while he was over here. Yeah, he's not being levitated or paralyzed. He might be paralyzed, but he's not levitating. Because usually, right whenever the paralysis works... Of course, this does show that you can have the differential effects, so that if one thing doesn't work, the other one might. Okay, so he's getting paralyzed, but he's not getting levitated. He must be just, like, specifically immune to levitation. And he's so fast he can actually break through some of these effects. He's feared, so he's running away from other mobs, not just me. Whenever something is under a fear effect, it runs away from everything, not just you. And you run away from everything, not just the one that caused fear on you. So he is making a good case for Monty Python music. Wow. He is hard to hit. I hit you, and therefore you zip around everywhere. Maybe I should finish this in the water. Okay, I'm getting the idea that I need to be in the water with this guy to slow him down. I thought I had evaded being back hit by him, but I had not. Okay, I have summoned a Banshee. Don't get onto land. He got onto land. I was trying to avoid that. I hear him, therefore he potatoes. This thing also has decent knockback, just saying. Every time I hit him, he just goes running. Yeah, I can see the slight issue here. It's a good thing I just summoned a Djinn, because I might need it to levitate him for me. If he's even able to be levitated. Can you guys chase him down? Because all this screen wiggling is just a problem. Okay, I stabilized. Can I get this guy in the water, please? Slow him down. I'm gonna chase you down this river. I need something to grant immunity to nausea. Is there such a charm? Please, somebody invent a bauble to get rid of nausea. It would be very nice. I've seen them get rid of other conditions. Why not nausea? Because I've seen them get rid of poison. I've seen them make you kind of fireproof, if not fireproof. I've seen them make you witherproof. And all sorts of other something proof. But why not nausea proof? Why not just have the... I could even name it. I could even name it. The charm of the willful stomach. just think about it. Somebody, please. This is something that we've needed in the modded community for a long time. You can't deny that's something that people have been waiting for. I know originally I said that water makes this effect useless, but I think he's already immune to... Oh, really? You're not my problem here. And wouldn't you know it, I got a random part. That's one way to demonstrate that parts work. Because I literally got a random Spriggan heart off that Spriggan that just popped up while I was fighting this guy. Okay. I need to get this guy into a position where I can, yeah, I just need to be able to chase him through the water without him... This thing does have good attack speed, by the way. He runs right past you. He really does. Oh, now he's trapped. Been a while since I pulled that number. I had almost forgotten that the way to get it to work now is to hold shift while doing a charge. If you're in fact wanting to shoot it. I have some very loud companions. I realize this. Oh wait, he's finally levitating. I didn't think he could. I thought he was immune. I thought that was the reason why he wasn't levitating after the paralysis wore off. I do have him mostly down. Whoa, I managed to duck his attack. Oh, I need some kind of food. I do. There we go. Thank you for finally going down, Jigamo. I really needed you to halt a while ago. I really did. And I am going to eat this yellow heart. Because I also really needed to do that. Okay, that took longer than expected. Relic apple? Just for the noms? Kind of. Better apple? Do I have steak in here? This is what I'm really wondering. Do I have... Yeah, I have steaks, thank goodness. Because that was a little more than I expected, but I beat him with just this with this kind of armor here, and with Storm's Eye, I was able to take him on. So you can use this as a boss buster. And is that one of mine? I have no idea. because I had elementals all over the place for a little while. I mean, I had a small army. That kind of says something about things. I thought I'd put in ravioli, but yeah, I think I can conclude with that. So this has been Glitch Reaper. I hope you've enjoyed this demonstration of Storm's Eye and a bit of a boss rush. Okay, I'll be logging off. Hope to hear from you all later, and bye for now, everybody.